443 Harrison Avenue, is that correct?
Yes, that's it. And thank you for letting me sit in the front seat with you.
Hey, my pleasure, my pleasure. You want to hear some music?
Oh, no. It was very nice of you to take me home.
That was Mr. Whitney's compliments, ma'am.
Well, Mr. Whitney was very generous, wasn't he?
Yes, ma'am.
He must be a very nice man to work for.
We get along, yeah, we get along.
He's also told me that he's very fond of you.
Well, that's very nice to hear, ma'am. Thank you.
How long have you worked for him?
About a year and a half, give or take a month or two.
And when did you first get together?
Well, I was working for a rather influential businessman in Europe, and Mr. Whitney had some dealings with him. That's how we met.
What did you do for this influential businessman?
Oh, might say I was in the personal protection line.
You were a bodyguard?
Well, that would be a more accurate description.
That must be a very dangerous business.
Well, you know, there were a couple of attempts by some political radicals to abduct the gentleman I was working for.
My goodness.
And I thwarted those assaults, and not one person got hurt.
Sounds like you are a hero.
Nah. Just doing my job.
Well, I'm sure it's no fun to wake up in the morning and go to work and be afraid that you're going to have your kneecap shot off.
No. That's not why I quit. See, I didn't like my employer, and Mr. Whitney made me a very generous offer.
I'm sure he did. And I can imagine that someone in Mr. Whitney's profession would need protection, so I assume that you are his bodyguard, too?
Well, I assist Mr. Whitney in any way I can.
Yes, like chauffeuring his lady friends around.
No, ma'am.
You can admit it. I know all about Martine Duval, and I know that they're living together. Tell me something, Gunther. What do you know about this Martine?
Well, I hear she's a very talented dancer.
Do you like her?
It doesn't really matter whether I like her.
Sounds like you don't like her.
Artists, they're temperamental.
So, do you think this relationship they have is going to be permanent?
I really couldn't say, ma'am. But I doubt it.
Oh, you do you?
Well, you know, Mr. Whitney strikes me as a very changeable person.
So you think he'll get tired of her?
Mr. Whitney appreciates loyalty, ma'am.
Oh, really? And you don't think Miss Duval is going to be loyal? Tell me more.
I think I've said enough, ma'am.
Gunther, mum's the word. I wouldn't mention a word of what we've been talking about.
Thank you, ma'am.
Well, this has been a most enjoyable little chat.
I'm very glad, ma'am.
And I also find you a very interesting man.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, Gunther, I think that you and I are going to be great friends.